is Luna Paige. I would like to share with you my experience as a solo artist within the music community. I'd like to call it the 4 C's that I'd like to talk to you about. And the reason why is because as a solo artist, you can sometimes feel pretty alone. And it's important to remember that you actually are part of a community. And sometimes it's the way that you look at the community that makes you feel even more isolated than you really are. Now, but I like to think of our music community as a bunch of surfers in the ocean. Everybody's there looking for that big wave to catch. You get the guys at the back lying around enjoying the sun and the camaraderie. Then you've got the guy who's very seriously lying around waiting for that one awesome wave. Then you've got one who's managed to catch an awesome wave and he's riding in it and he's like, yeah. You've got one that's like totally caught up in this beautiful tunnel barrel wave, like just in his own little world having fun. Then you've got one that had a big wave and is now just sort of riding out the last bit, heading towards the coast. You've got the poor sod that just got dumped and is there somewhere in the shallow water coughing up sand. And then you've got one out there caught up in some tide gasping for air. Basically, the fact of the matter is nothing is constant in this music industry. And we are all sort of, having our own unique surfing experience, and everyone decides for themselves what it is that they want to take out of today's surf in a way. And what I do know is that if you are in the privileged position to be able to help someone that's caught in the tide or that's busy drowning there, and then you should do it, because that's your duty as a community member. And you never know when you might need a hand to grab a hold of. So I also know that unfortunately our industry is sort of geared in a way where we constantly look for affirmation on the outside. And this can be very unhealthy, and it can also create a competitive atmosphere, which can be very bad for your self-confidence. A simple example would be you write a song and then you play it to your fellow musos and they either like it or they don't. Then you get on stage, you play it to the audience, they either like it or they don't. Then you make an album, you send it off to the media, they review it, they either like it or they don't. You send it to the radio, they either play it or they don't. Then you go to a festival and you perform there and they send a panel of people to judge whether your artwork is good or not. You get nominated or you don't. If you get nominated, you either win or you lose. All of this creates an atmosphere where we sort of value ourselves based on what other people think. And what I've come to learn is that it's really important for us to get our affirmation from the inside, that we need to be able to value our own art and believe in ourselves and really be willing to stand up for our art. And that people really react to that. People react to people who have confidence in what they do, and people also react to people who don't. Unfortunately, not everyone can do this naturally. Some of us really have to work really hard on doing that, because maybe we've been taught that confidence is arrogance, who knows. And just talking about arrogance, I think it's really important for us to not confuse the two, and that is why it is really important for us to have confidants, people whose opinions we trust and who we will listen to when they give us positive critique. Whilst we have to be respectful and kind towards our fellow community members, and whilst we have to question when we critique others and ask ourselves whether it is sound critique or whether it's maybe coming from a competitive place or a place of insecurity or even jealousy, we must also be careful of who we trust. Because unfortunately the ocean is not all sunshine and bubbles. There are those who would like to push you out of the way so that they could catch the big wave. So we need to choose people who we trust and whose opinions we will listen to, and not too many of them, because you might lose your own authentic vibe if you lend out your ears to too many people and adapt accordingly every single time. I believe your confidants should be people who you believe to have more experience than you, who are exemplary at what they do, people who have achieved what you have not achieved and would like to achieve, and people who you respect, and also people who respect you and would like to see you succeed. So in short, my idea of the 4Cs is respect your community, you need them. Let go of unhealthy competitive vibes, it's not cool. Be confident, know your value, know your worth, and don't measure yourself by other people's opinions of what success looks like. Choose your confidence wisely and bugger the rest.
Laat meer dinge wat ons vind, as die dinge wat ons kry. Ja, ek behoort aan jou en jy behoort aan my.
Namhlanje siphefumlela kuncatabanga yabantu ngokubanika inhlanza okudingeka khona la maxesha nzima kodwa umphefumulo wakho